Hello, friends. Welcome to my kitchen. Here we are again. It's Wednesday at 11 a.m. every week, unless I get swept on my feet and taken somewhere. But today, once again, I have two really great healthy recipes for you to try. Just a little bit about me. I am a health coach locally, but I actually serve people all over the nation. But the foods I bring to you, the recipes I bring to you, hello, Cheryl, are definitely on my 5-in-1 plan, okay? Most of the time. If they're not, then I tell you. But here's the magic. You don't have to be on 5-in-1 on my health plan to enjoy these recipes. These are family friendly for everyone. So that's what is so wonderful. And it's why I fell in love with this program, because I realized I'm a foodie at heart. I love cooking. And so it was a great combination for me to find healthy cooking that still gave me that creativity and the variety that I was looking for in the kitchen without feeling like I was being deprived. And I want to lose weight too. And I want to stay healthy. And I want to keep my body fat percentage at a good rate. I'm not perfect, but I've got it in a healthy range. And that, in the end all be all, that is what we're really looking for. So I have to preface a couple things. Eating this food doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose weight. Okay, there's a lot of other things involved. I'm going to show you one of them. I'm going to drink some water right now. In fact, I was almost late coming live today because I had to take a little pit stop, because drinking water is a big part of our health, a big part of being able to flush our body out if we're in a weight loss stage of our life. You can actually eat as healthy as you could, do exactly what you're supposed to do, and if you are dehydrated, your body will not lose fat. So there's your plus for the day. Just plan accordingly if you're supposed to go live at 11 that you've taken a pit stop. But anyway, I digress. We're going to hit the ground running today with two really great recipes. And now I've already prefaced it. I am Julie Brinkley, also known as Motivation with Brink on Facebook or Instagram. But I'm going to come to you real honest today. I am so excited about this recipe. It's going to make me super happy. But as I was prepping for it, I began to think this could be overwhelming for some people. Like, they may look at this recipe and think, this is a no-go. If that's what healthy eating looks like, then I'm not going to do that. Way too many steps, way too many ingredients. Let me just tell you, we can cut it way back. I'm going to give you a couple little tips and tricks for those of you that are interested in the full flavor of what eating on plan can look like, and you have the time or the fresh herbs or the things like that to do, then do it as the recipe calls. But I'm also going to show you, if you don't have fresh basil and oregano and herbs and spices in your cabinet, you can also make this super simple. Don't overthink it. You could also use just a blend. This one's a new one I picked up. Andrew Zimmern, which is like, I guess, the Food Network guy. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, so a Mediterranean blend that has some of the same spices, okay? So those herbs and spices, the flavors are what is most important, but it doesn't have to be as hard as what it may look like today, okay? But we're gonna do grilled chicken. And the reason I thought of grilled chicken for today is because we have been working here at the Brinkley House. If you have me on Facebook, then you know, because I'm so proud of it. We've been showing it. We've been working so hard on our yard. We still have some grass issues, but we've been working really hard on a little backyard paradise to be able to sit out in. And what I love about that is I just sit outside, we grill a lot, and so what do we think of? We think grilled chicken. What do you think of when you're on a plan? You think, oh, grilled chicken and broccoli, right? I mean, because that'd be a good plan, but it'd be boring. So we're gonna bring grilled chicken to you a couple different ways. So I want you to think about maybe incorporating one of these styles. Now, the other thing I have to say real quick, and then we're gonna jump in, is this week in particular, I'm not calling anybody out, that's watching. I really am not. I'm thinking of a different client, but cooking sometimes can be hard. And if you've got kids running 100 different directions, working in the yard till late at night in the summer, and cooking just isn't what you want to do. It's super hot here in Texas, so maybe cooking is just a struggle. And then you get online here, or you look at our community support pages and you think, gosh, I can't do this if I'm not a cook. Not the case. So today I want to show you that you could do this really simply by maybe on the weekend grilling a lot of grilled chicken, but then applying some really fun, different ways to serve that grilled chicken throughout the week, or maybe through the next 3 to 4 days. I'm kind of funny with anything over 3 to 4 days from the fridge. My husband knows. He loves it that I don't love leftovers, but he does love leftovers, so it works out for us. But 3 to 4 days, you've got your grilled chicken made, you've done the work, and then you get to really make each night something new and full of variety. This one's gonna have 2 different options for you. Kind of a Mediterranean one and kind of a Tex-Mex one. So I think you're gonna like it. So of course we're gonna start with a marinade, and I'm actually gonna make this one and really marinate. I'm really gonna let it marinate. So you will not see this one complete. You'll see the topping for it because I really wanna eat this. Let's just be real. This is really my family. This is really my kitchen. And like I always try to say, I am not a professional chef. And sometimes I make mistakes and errors. So for you ladies out there, or guys out there too, from our Healthy 365 community, I sometimes make mistakes. So I'll try to preface any of my mistakes. But again, stay true to the recipes if you're 5 and 1. And thank you for all you people saying hello. It makes me feel so good because I am alone here in the house right now. I think Harrison's upstairs. And so it makes me feel great to know you're watching. Also, you know how Facebook is. Feel free to, I think my little friend calls it sprinkle. It's that other S word down on the bottom of your menu. Share this out with your friends and family. Guys, we want this to be a dynamic page for people to come to for these videos once a week. But my goal, sure, it's my business. It's my career. It means a lot to me. But guys, I don't want to get emotional, but it makes my day when I run into people that tell me how much they love watching the cooking show. That is why I'm doing it, because it's so fun to be able to bless others and serve others. And you know me, one week at a time, trying to make Facebook a friendly, positive, encouraging place. So feel free to share it. No obligations or strings attached to that. But let's go ahead and start with the marinade. On the marinade, we've got a 1/2 cup of an olive oil. I'm actually using an avocado oil. This one, I believe, avocado blend. I have a Blackstone now that I do a lot of my grilling and entire meals on. And this one, I picked up this oil because, for one, I've kind of become an oil junkie. But I like this one because it's a high heat. Okay, so that Blackstone gets pretty hot and I don't want to burn an extra virgin olive oil. So we're going to do this. We've got 1/3 cup of an ingredient that you might not have in your kitchen, but I'm going to tell you, it'd be a good one to keep, the rice vinegar. Okay, again, dealing with proteins, adding that acid is really going to help things. Now, in some cases, you know, I don't know if you ever do like a pulled pork or things like that. A lot of times apple cider vinegar gets added in there, and that's a great way to kind of break down those proteins. We're going to add a couple cloves of garlic, and I didn't mince that. I do have it out of the garden, but I did that out of the fridge. And then this is kind of fun. We are actually, now notice, I'm putting this in a blender because, and you'll see on the recipe, you have a choice. You could just put this straight into a bag, and just a gallon-sized bag, which we're about to, but something enticed me with this recipe because it said, or put it in a blender and let all those flavors, told you I wasn't alone, there he was. All those flavors are kind of going to blend together. I I did call him out. That's Harrison, by the way. Anyway, one thing I love about using fresh spices, we're gonna muddle this, okay? When I say muddle, I just can't help but think about mojitos, but that's not the same. We're gonna take the basil and kind of mess it around, almost like bruise it in a way, okay? Because you want it to start releasing the flavors. And then I actually have fresh oregano, which I don't use very often. Now I will tell you, I'm probably one of the most practical people you might ever meet. I mean, you should meet me because I'm pretty practical. And I grow these herbs myself, or I guarantee you I probably wouldn't be buying them, okay? Because I'm a little cheap. I mean, I would sometimes. Sometimes you just have to. But that's why I have 3 really hardy basil plants, because I do not want to spend my summer spending money on basil that goes bad if I don't use it all. So plant your basil plant. There's my PSA for the week. If you see, I'm kind of doing the same thing with these oregano leaves. I'm muddling them up so they get nice and kind of bruised, but you wanted to start releasing those flavors. Let me just double check. I put my red onion straight in here, which is going to be super interesting to release and kind of emulsify that onion flavor for the marinade. Again, this is just for the marinade. Let me finish here. Oops. I thought I had everything ready. Forgot my lemon juicer. Let me put this in here. This one, again, has so many steps that I didn't want to forget, so I apologize. I have my recipe out. And again, I'm really bad about not measuring lemon. You should. If that was a tablespoon, you want to make sure and measure if you're on 501. There's my disclaimer. A little black pepper, not adding salt to this marinade. Salt will be added later. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this a quick blend. It's gonna be one of those days that I want you to have smell-o-vision, because this marinade is going to release some amazing smells, no doubt. Oof, guys. Again, this is just the marinade. Now 6 to 8 hours. Ooh, my goodness. And guys, I've told you before, my smeller doesn't even work very good, but that smells really good. Full of garlic. The onion is coming through. Now I want to take my chicken breast and I'm going to put them straight into a bag. Now on these chicken breasts, I did not butterfly them, and they are super thick. So when I cook them, I'll decide whether or not I need to. I can't.
I know. I was going to say.
So sorry. I'm going to put this marinade straight into the chicken breast. And guys, this baby's going in the fridge until this evening when I grill it, because I really do want to see the flavor with this marinade. I would do it just for you guys and make it quick, but then we probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. So I really want to wait and get this marinade, but you will get this photo later on this afternoon. You can see that marinade is going to be amazing. Now here's the difference. I told you 2 chicken recipes. Now, if you're in a crunch, could you skip this step and just use grilled chicken? Sure. I'll let you know how delicious this is. But let's be real. If there's an issue with time, this may be a step that you can cut out. If there's an issue with all those fresh herbs and things like that, then cut this out. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the fridge. And now we're going to talk about the topping. Now that grilled chicken is going to look amazing. It's going to be full of flavor. That acid in there is going to help keep it really tender and flavorful. It's going to almost permeate the protein. So now we move on to the topping for this. And this is going to be very reminiscent of a Greek salad. I love Greek salads in the summer. But if you're like me, and especially like my little pilot boyfriend who's gone today, he might be watching, I don't know. But he kind of gets burned out on salads. And it's easy for us to do taco salad one night, Caesar salad one night, salmon, I mean, you can do all different ways and throw it as a salad. And he gets a little bit burned out about that. So we all kind of get fatigued with just salad. And that's what I'm telling you, this doesn't have to be that way. we're gonna create a topping that's very reminiscent of Greek salad without it being Greek salad. So I think I planned this one. Yeah. We're gonna start off with our cherry tomatoes. Again, these are from my garden, I have to tell you, because I'm super proud of, I am from a long line of gardeners. And so this year, I don't know what it is, post-pandemic victory garden, I don't know, but I've had a bumper crop of amazing, beautiful tomatoes. So this is a great way to use up those tomatoes if you too have fresh tomatoes. However, here's my reality for you. What if you're not a gardener? Okay, guess what? You can buy these, or you could use a regular tomato and dice it up, or let's just be real. If you had to, you could substitute in diced tomatoes. Now I would drain them out of a can, but don't ever leave one of these recipes, you know, and turn away from it because of something like, oh, I didn't have, you know, fresh homegrown tomatoes, so I couldn't make that dish. That's definitely not the case. So we're gonna add our fresh tomatoes. We're also gonna use just a smidge more of our, I'm losing my place here, 2 teaspoons, not very much, I knew it wasn't much. 2 teaspoons of this same rice wine vinegar, okay, and we're gonna kind of make our own little dressing with that. We're gonna take a little bit more basil as well. It's the fresh basil. Again, I actually put out on Facebook the other day, Steamville people, I have a ton of basil. If I'm your friend on Facebook, just text me and say, hey, can I come by and snip a few things of basil? I would love to have you do that if it meant you were gonna cook one of my amazing summer recipes that are full of basil. I love cooking with basil in the summer. I would actually love cooking with basil in the winter too. It's just, like I said, I don't have it. So I'm gonna add my basil in there. Now keep in mind, when you think of a Greek salad, you think cucumbers, feta cheese, all the things, right? So that's a lot of what we're adding here. We're gonna take some herbs first. Now think about this. You saw me add so many fresh herbs to the marinade. Now in this salad, it's gonna be dry. So we're gonna do onion powder, garlic powder, a little dried oregano, and dried basil. Now this may already sound familiar because it's very reminiscent of like a Greek salad dressing that you would make. We're gonna throw in a ½ cup of chopped cucumbers. I normally use the English cucumber. This one is a salad cucumber. Again, the seeds are super small, so I didn't seed them. Just keep in mind, if you buy a traditional straight up cucumber, you might want to take that and really kind of core out some of those seeds. They're not going to be as flavorful in here. And the texture, it will kind of mess up the texture too. Now, a Greek salad wouldn't be a Greek salad without a little purple onion. So we are actually going to add just a little bit. In our household, I love onion, but not everybody else does not love that. So we're going to be mindful of that. Now with this, I'm going to add a little bit more pepper. And in the topping, I am going to add a little bit of salt. And let's see, I think, can't forget the olive oil, right? 1½ teaspoons of olive oil. Again, if you think about it, all I've done is create kind of a Greek dressing. 1½ teaspoons, yeah, that's right. Again, these recipes are available for you for Healthy 365 people. You know where they are in the albums. For my friends with Beneath the Surface News, that's gonna be on her website, and she posts these wonderful recipes there. So, one more thing. Oh my gosh, the most amazing part, these Kalamata olives. Now, let me just address Kalamata olives for a minute on plan. If you've done any type of weight loss plan before, then you understand that olives are typically restricted because they're fat, they're fatty. They have a lot of healthy fat in them. And that's another beautiful thing about this way of eating, this plan, is because it doesn't restrict as much as you think of. It actually just teaches you how to use it. Like, I can have this olive, it just has to count for my healthy fat portion, and it has to be in proportion with my protein. So there you go. So even if you're not on 5-in-1 plan and you just want to eat healthy recipes, healthy food, you want to trick up your health this summer, then this will be a great way to do it. And again, that was 12 olives. For you 5-in-1 people, you know how important it is to follow the recipe exactly right, because everything is calculated for you. I think I have everything in here now. I'm going to get just a little something to toss this around so you can see how beautiful. Oh, let me just be real. I'm going to use my hands a little bit to get those herbs. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is going to be a dish. And you know what? I got a little party coming up this weekend. This may actually reappear because this is impressive. Okay, not to mention, I'm making this up right now. I already told you I'm going to grill that chicken later. This is going to be even better as it sits for a little bit in the fridge. So this topping will be super easy to do that with. Okay, look at that. But something's missing, right? Feta cheese. Look at that. 2 ounces, guys. Again, if you're 5-in-1, this feta cheese has some protein, so that's why the portion of protein will be what it is for you. This feta cheese is going to be added in there. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm impressed myself for a second. I'm impressed myself. This will be a new favorite. I can already tell you. My daughter in Houston, when she looks at this, she's going to love it because we would eat this just like this. Okay, this is a serving of 4. We would just quarter this up, top our grilled chicken. This will be one of your new summer favorites, I promise you. I'm gonna put this to the side. I just have to double check, make sure I put everything in. I think I did. We're gonna set that to the side. Now, I told you, grilled chicken 2 ways, right? The next way was just a simple grilled chicken. I went ahead and did it out on the Blackstone for you this morning. And I actually have to finish cutting this up. So this is where it would be super helpful. Now, if I had this grilled chicken that I had made ahead of time, and I topped it with my Mediterranean mixture that I just made, would it be the end of the world? No, it'd probably still be delicious. So again, don't get overwhelmed with those steps of the marinade. If that overwhelms you, then man, pull it back and keep it simple, you know? Even like if it's grilled chicken and you don't have the time to go out to the grill to do grilled chicken, you could do a different form. You could, I mean, if you do shredded chicken out of your Instapot, really anything like that would be just fine. Now, typically for you guys, you know this, if you've watched me before, I use mostly the thin cut chicken breast just because they cook so fast, and I don't know. It's just been a habit of mine. But today I used regular chicken breast. The one thing I warn you against if you're 5-in-1 is those chicken breasts really vary in size, okay? So be sure that you're still weighing your protein. I'm gonna add that back to there. Be sure you're weighing your protein because it can sneak up on you. And we don't want that to happen. Now this little recipe, I will tell you one thing that I did different, 2 things I did different, okay? The recipe calls for fat-free Walden Farms. If you're in a bigger town, then you probably have no problem finding that. If you're in a small community, like myself, you may have trouble finding that specific fat-free dressing. However, if you're not on 5-in-1, I today chose a light ranch. But again, on 5-in-1, don't modify the recipe. So we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of just a regular taco seasoning. I think the one that's mentioned in the recipe is Ortega. That's the one I used. I actually buy it in bulk because I don't want to have to measure out the whole, because sometimes with 5-in-1 cooking, we just need like 2 teaspoons or 3, whatever it is our allowance is for that condiment. So I just buy it in bulk and that makes it easier. This one's 2 tablespoons, which may be close to like a packet, but you'd have to measure it still. So just a good spice to keep on hand. We love using this same taco seasoning on cauliflower and roasting in the oven. It makes a great addition to like those zucchini enchiladas that I made, because it's kind of like rice, but it's not. And I don't even do the riced one. I just use regular cauliflower chunks and roast it in the oven. So this is going to be our dressing. I'm going to set it to the side. And now for this, I want you to channel your 1970s and 80s kid here. Think about those family reunions or potlucks. There was always the Frito salad. You know what I'm talking about, you people, especially people if they were at my family reunion, because it was Fritos, it had ranch style beans, it had corn probably, tomatoes, cheese, lettuce, anyway. 5-in-1, of course beans are off the table, okay? That was also saturated with Catalina dressing, okay? Super sweet, full of sugar, and then of course those yummy tortilla chips. So, but I'm really thinking this vibe is gonna bring back that memory. Yes, Frito salad, that's what it was. So, that's what I wanna encourage you with today, guys. Healthy food does not have to be like sad. You can trick it up, and there's so much accomplishment when you think, oh my gosh, that gave me the essence of this old memory when we could eat that and didn't care, because honestly, I ate that way my whole entire childhood. And so we don't want to have to do that. But this one, I will tell you, my preface is when you get to the recipe, you'll think, wait a second, she added, I don't remember seeing her add the lettuce. I'm not adding the lettuce to this. We're going to do a little meal prepping this week for Tatum. Tatum just walked in, but she's awfully sweaty, so she's probably not going to come say hi. And so we are going to use this as a topping to a bed of romaine. Okay, this is going to be a great lunch for us, but it also I want to be able to eat it again, tomorrow. So I would not add your lettuce. You'll see on the recipe, I believe it says serve immediately. So of course, if you're serving this for a big group, then you could do that. But I don't know. I kind of like the freedom of just using it to top on a salad, almost like a chicken salad, like Tex-Mex version. But we're going to go ahead and add our chicken to this bowl. Now I will tell you again, 5-in-1 way. You notice here I had my feta on this scale. That's going to be super important to weigh those ounces out when you see it. With the grilled chicken, I've already mixed the dressing. We're going to add to this, some more tomatoes. So I'm going to cut up the rest of these tomatoes. Again, guys, this has been one of my favorite parts of Plan, is finding these flavors. We live in Stephenville. Hello. Tex-Mex is like that's what we're raised on. It's in our blood. So when I find a recipe that kind of captures those same flavors, it's really a celebration and it's fun. So that's wonderful. But again, while I'm chopping this, I'll visit with you. I have to say, again, a little shout out, and hopefully they're watching. They might not be watching live, but they probably will remember who they are. But I've seen several people this week, either at the grocery store or at the garage sale down the street with my mom and daddy. Someone actually talked to my mom and dad about it. That's just the best thing ever. So guys, I just thank you. Thank you for letting me know that, because some days it's really hard to come on here live and worry, I don't know. That's why I always say that little thing at the end. But it's hard. It's hard putting yourself out there, but it's also super important to me when I see lives change, when I see people who get confidence and get health back, that's worth it all. So you can always scroll by if you don't like it. But I love it when you tell me that you like what I'm cooking. So I've added those cherry tomatoes. We're going to add 1/4 cup of cilantro. I've already got that ready for you. Here's a little hack for you. And I just did this. They have this at our local H-E-B. And guys, I kind of recommend it, because when I buy the fresh on the stem cilantro, it's wilted by the next day. This in the little plastic container, will keep for a couple days. So that's been a pretty good money-saving tip for me. So we've added our cilantro. We want to add just a couple green onions. Remember, on 5-in-1 plan, you will see it noted spring onions, green onions, a lot, because we don't use regular onion as often. It's minimal, in fact, because of the caramelization when they're cooked. Now this is actually fresh, so again, in the Brinkley house, I would probably put these to the side because I have a few that would prefer to not have the green onion in there. I don't know, they're crazy. They don't know what's good for them, but anyway. So we're gonna add green onion. We're gonna add another, this is what that little salad cucumber looks like. We're gonna add another half a cup of cucumber to this. Again, I kind of think of it, even with Tex-Mex, you're just adding a nice cool crunch. You're adding some color and flavor to that salad, or the top of the chicken salad to add to it, add to your bed of lettuce. Oops. And see, these seeds are super small, so that's not gonna bother me at all to leave those seeds in there. So you might try the salad cucumber if, I'll be honest, they didn't have any English cucumber. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to my chicken. Now, here's a really fun thing. I think it's the last thing I get to add. Yes, okay, first of all, let's do a little lime juice. You know, limes are funny. Ooh, that one had a lot. I was gonna preface that, you know, always overbuy your limes because sometimes those things are dry. But we're gonna put that lime juice straight into there. Now here's my favorite little addition. We've got a little mixture of jicama and jalapeno. That's almost gonna make us think of like a water chestnut, okay? But I do wanna take a minute. You guys know what jicama looks like. Not very attractive in the store, right? I know I've shown you this before, but I'm gonna show you again right fast. Just as a bonus lesson today, you can buy this in the store. Some stores will have it already cut up like this. Guys, I would eat this right now, but I'll save you the crunching. I am, you know, I was brought up in, not in the country, but as a country girl, small town girl. And for you Cowan family out there, we grew up eating raw potatoes. It was like our thing. And honestly, all of my kids do it too. However, we don't eat a lot of potatoes anymore. Way starchy, and there's other vegetables we sub in place of that. This is a nice mix, but there's an essence of a raw potato, but it's a little sweeter. Makes a great little snack. I have the rest of that one to cut up because Tatum and I will use it as a nice afternoon snack. Again, add up those vegetables if you're 5-in-1. But I want to show you real quick how to cut this if you can't find the ones in the store. You will save a little bit of money buying it this way instead of the already cut up one. But we want to take just a little wedge off one side. And that's just to give us a surface that will let this stand. Because as you can see, I'm having to work at it, okay? Because it is a tough vegetable. So make sure you have a sharp knife. Make sure your fingers are out of the way. It can be crazy. I had a great client and friend who taught me this method, and it's really been a great thing. You can see I made big slices, okay? And then notice I didn't peel it. Do not try to peel it first. That is just the worst. But look how easily I can slide my knife around, not wasting near as much, and I get a great piece here that I can then dice up, which is what I've done here. And so we're gonna take this now, all of the ingredients are in here. I'm gonna give it a stir. Oh my goodness, guys. Once again, I think summer food should be bright and cheery and beautiful, but look at this before I put the dressing. Full of color, okay? Beautiful salad to put together for I mean, we're talking don't tell your friends you're on a plan kind of night. I mean, have them come over and they will leave happy because they've eaten really well. So again, I did not put the full portion of dressing in here. For you 5-in-1 people, that is counted for. So again, don't modify the recipe unless you're really good at math and you can do all that figuring. But I did take just a little less because I didn't want it to be super full of dressing. I've kind of learned that over my 5 years of kind of being on this health journey, that it takes a lot less dressing to make me happy. So, oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Again, all of your protein is included. You're being able, like, I know I did grill. I did have a little bit of heat out there today, but right now, what a great thing it would be to have people come over. My oven's not on. I'm able to serve this up on a beautiful bed of lettuce, if I can do this. Need some bigger counter space, huh? And this portion size is amazing for this chicken. Look at that, guys. This is, oh, for you friends out there, just know this is going to be served for the Brinkley barbecue, okay? This is a great meal, and you don't have to feel like you're missing out. No, it's not a hamburger and potato salad, but it's a great, flavorful, light, cool lunch or dinner. So that's there. Guys, don't forget, I'm going to come to you with finished photographs of the beautiful Mediterranean topped grilled chicken. You're going to love this. You're going to want to put that on your list. Speaking of list, that's a really important thing to think about. If you go to either our community support page or Beneath the Surface News and look past some other recipes, plan your week a little bit, guys. Get an idea like how you can do this doubling up business where you could grill chicken and use it maybe a third time. Okay, I could easily have cut this chicken up and then turned it into something different. I have a wonderful broccoli chicken Caesar. I could have done that with this chicken. So there was another way to use that chicken, but in completely reinvented ways. Okay, so I encourage you to try that. That's the puppy. Yeah. Well, luckily, I'm all finished here. Another Wednesday in the books, guys. I love coming to you every single Wednesday. Thank you for letting me know you're here when you watch. It just makes my day to be able to know if you've made these recipes. Let us know. Message us either here on Beneath the Surface News or find me on Facebook. I want to know what you're cooking and how it's working out for you. Until I see you next week, be nice.